All right, that was Alex Van Pelt yesterday, and it's something that we touched on in the final minutes of the show, Zoe, yesterday. But Alex Van Pelt, after we saw Marcus Jones on offense for the first time last weekend, was asked about using him. And he says, I didn't even know that Marcus Jones played offense. And then he texted me. I didn't know it was Marcus Jones on the team. I Googled somebody else. But that's how we found out Marcus Jones is playing offense.
I kind of still feel the same way that I did at the end of the show yesterday. And, just observing it. And what took me back was at the beginning of camp. Marcus was asked about playing offense. He said, no, I am a defensive back. I'm a corner. So tells me there's no interest there. Alex has got a lot on his plate with this team. He's new. The whole team's new to him. He's got issues up front. He's got massive issues on the outside. He's trying to get a rookie quarterback more ready week to week at the National Football League level. So he's dealing with a lot. I thought he gave you an honest answer there. The guy reached out to him. So I'm like, Marcus, I know Marcus Jones here, but he's a DB. If you're coming in to do game plan, and you're the offensive coordinator here, and you got to make it a massive top 3 issue that we got to get Marcus Jones involved this week, you got more problems, I think, than you think you really have. Because I think it's a gimmick thing. It's a play here or there. You should have a little package for him. But I think this thing got massively blown up after this. That how could he not know that, or even think to put Marcus in there? I don't know what your take is on it.
I think people look at a team that is having a hard time scoring points.
They are
having a hard time generating explosive plays. Even as their ability to score points has actually improved over the last few weeks, they still are not creating big chunk plays on a regular basis. And so they look at that, and they look at what he did in 2022 for the team, providing some level of explosiveness, however briefly that was exhibited in a season where, again, they struggled offensively that entire year. And they look at maybe not Alex Van Pelt, and maybe you don't blame him. I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him for necessarily going through all the tape from 2022. But they look at Gerard Mayo or any of the other coaches or front office people that are on the staff, Troy Brown, who is here and worked with these guys, and say, how does it never come up?
I'm with you. It's more.
It doesn't have to become a massive thing, Zoe. It's not a massive thing in terms of the offensive game plan.
I mean, I've got a couple calls on it. Can you effing believe this?
No, but you're talking about it's a big deal if Alex Van Pelt needs to go into a given week and have a bunch of plays for this guy. Nobody's saying that.
Right.
But not having that on the table at all.
But for it to never come up is 100% a head scratcher. And Mayo today, I don't know if we have this sound yet, but he spoke earlier today to the reporters, and basically the way he put it, Zoe, was he's a defensive player. We were focused on, he was coming off an injury as well. So we're focused on getting him ready to play defense and punt return. I think the reason it doesn't come up is because Mayo, quite frankly, doesn't want him to play a lot of offense.
And it came up in our production meetings, and you were in some of those too in preseason. And that was talked about. I'm a defensive player. I'm good. I'm good, man. And I'm like, okay, so for me, it's another stratosphere. It's off it.
And Mayo's been asked about it too, and he said something similar. He's one of our best corners. We're going to have him focus on defense.
And you got to concentrate on that. But I think it's such an indicator when he gets injected into the game. If I'm a defensive player, if I'm a defensive coach watching the sideline, this is what I do when I watch the games too. 25's coming in. 25's in the game. They're getting him the ball. So I would take Ramsey this week, and I said, guys, check. We're going boxing one. And take Ramsey, put him on him, follow him around. You don't have a definitive force on offense that dictates coverage. You don't have an Edelman or Gronkowski where safeties are going to go strong. Now we can hide Marcus backside or something. Marcus comes in the game, he sets coverage. Because they got something up their sleeve here. Whether you're going to fake it to him and then do a tight end screen off it, you got to have other wrinkles to it. But, they got to fix other things right now than worry about getting Marcus Jones in the game offense.
I thought they did a great job using him last week. Even it was two plays, but they handed it off to him on one. The next time he was in there, they used a similar sort of motion where he's motioning behind the quarterback and used him as a decoy through a screen the other way to Ramondre Stevenson.
Oh, was it tight end
I think it was to Stevenson. Okay. They got 9 yards on it though, and put him on the doorstep of the end zone. So
that's right. They brought Pop in on the Hooper one. Yeah,
just continue to work him in that way, and I think that'll sort of be the extent of it. I don't think you're going to see games. I don't think you're going to see games where all of a sudden he's played 10 offensive snaps. Okay. I think it's going to be a handful here or there, and they should. And again, I would start with the other coaches on the staff, McCone. You could have the conversation. Just have it come up. Alex Van Pelt's not totally exempt here either. You're watching him return every single punt. and do a pretty damn good job. I think he leads the league in punt return average. At no point you watch that and you say,
we're struggling on offense here.
This guy's pretty damn good with the ball in his hands. Anybody ever think about using this guy offensively and just generate the conversation? That's all I think anybody expects. Just have the conversation.
And maybe it's not a huge deal that they didn't have the conversation, but I do think it's another example here. And look, there have been small instances, whether we spent some time talking about taking the wind in overtime in Tennessee, the lack of attention to detail when you start to talk about some of this stuff, I think does become a bit of a concern with a new coaching staff.
Yeah, this popped up yesterday. I swept it right under the rug because it's not imperative for me. You got to get this offense going. He's got to worry about getting Drake May on the same page more with Kendrick Bourne. They got to get Polk going. I'd rather have Alex concentrate on that stuff than trying to slip him in for a play or two a game. It's just if you're needing that, then you're a desperate offense. You really are. But I get it. He's dynamic.
Do you look at it, though, and you say to yourself, boy, they're not communicating the way they should be behind the scenes there?
I understand your point.
I don't know if I don't even know if this is a great indication of that because I think the head coach basically decided this guy's a defensive player. I'm not.
Well, the player himself said it this summer. So that, for me, took it off the board. It's almost like I don't enjoy playing offense.
But I know there are people who feel that way. They look at it and say, there's another indication that every detail is not necessarily being checked.
I'm glad he wants to still be part of the return game because I think he's a dynamic returner, and I just worry about him getting hurt. I don't want to expose him. He coming off the shoulder. I think that's why I want to make sure I could get my ass to the point I need to get to as a cover corner. Because I think you could do some things special opposite Gonzalez if you get him going in the slot, with Jonathan Jones as the boundary guy. You get your hands full this week. This week, it's Miami week. They got some dynamic freaking runners and pass catchers. So you better be on point there and worry less about what the OC's doing, getting this guy, returner, into the game offensively.
All right, Mike is in Boston, wants to talk Alex Van Pelt.
Hey, Mike. What's up?
So, hey guys, I was just wanted to let you guys know I have history. I've worked in sports radio.
Nice.
I used to do a podcast. Yeah, I'm just letting you guys know if you ever need me to fill in after.
Okay.
I usually do calls and emails, but if
you want to call Jim Louth, James Louth, he's not here today, but he should be in a day next week or something.
Kind of wanted to see where that was going to go.
I know, no, T-Bone wasn't having
What are you doing? We got people who want to work. You got to look at Tyler.
Yeah, we already
How do
got
you
a
think
guy.
Tyler's?
Sorry, bud.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Rob is in Peabody. Rob.
that was a hell of a plug that guy just tried to pull. That was nice.
Going for it. Yeah.
That was nice. That was ballsy. Hey, so I've called a lot talking about the Patriots wide receivers. Tyquan Thornton, my favorite human being. Good luck on the Chiefs, pal. But I honestly, I can't blame Alex Van Pelt with this Marcus Jones situation as much as a lot of other people are. He's coming off an injury. He's small in stature, yes, incredibly dynamic. The last time he played offense here, we had two, I don't want to say, lackluster coaches coaching the offense, but we also didn't have Demario Douglas. I mean, he's a similar player, and we have enough trouble getting him the ball. Let's inject an equally small player, try to get him the ball. Every time he comes on the field, Zoe, like you said, they're going to key on 25.
Yeah, because you don't have anything to offset it when you have it come in with that kind of speed. So, you're giving it away to begin with. So
exactly. I mean, there's nothing that he can bring to the table that I think DeMario can't bring to the table, and we have enough trouble getting him the ball. I mean, let's work on offense with who we've had on that side of the ball all season. Try to develop them. I mean, Polk and Baker aren't going great, but why introduce this? It's just putting him in a situation to get hurt more frequently.
And do you think, and it's an honest answer from the coach, do you think of, oh, man, if I say it this way, I'm going to really look stupid, so I probably shouldn't say it.
I love the honesty.
I love the brute honesty that we get from these coaches. Now, everything's not perfect, and they're not winning a ton of games, but has Alex Van Pelt gotten better here over the last couple of weeks? The answer is yes, and I think the quarterback has helped that. Again, the line, I think, has settled itself down. The benching of Bourne that you brought up, Phil, to call for what it is, it feels like a benching. Got his ass going. We got to get Polk's ass going. We got to get Pop the ball more, too. Tight end room, they're responding well. Now you're starting to feel like you're running a real pro-style offense. Last week was the first time I felt like we're in spread. We're bringing guys in motion. We're making checks. You're making throws on the run. It felt good. It felt good watching that O. Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.